You've been critical of President Biden's $1.9 trillion plan to deal with COVID-19, stimulate the economy. Tell me what some of your objections are to that proposal.
Well, we've put in between March and December of 2020, we've appropriated $4 trillion to get our economy reopened and fight COVID-19. $4 trillion is almost what we spend in an entire year to fund the entire federal government. It's about 18% of our GDP has been appropriated for COVID-19. In that most recent bill that we all agreed to on a bipartisan basis that was signed into law by President Trump in December, there's over $1 trillion that has not yet been spent in our states for health, vaccine, schools, small business relief, and all the other priorities that Congress on a bipartisan basis outlined.
Let me interrupt you here for just a second. Is that because the Trump administration did not deploy that money fast enough? It hasn't been spent? Is it the Asa Hutchinson administration is not spending this money as Congress intended it to? Who's responsible for that money not being spent?
Well, some of it was staged to be spent and has not been spent. Some of it was blocked by Speaker Pelosi from being spent until December by her holding up paycheck protection from the first week in August until the last week of December. But that bill in December, Roby, had $900 billion in it, almost $1 trillion that was to be deployed and is being deployed for 2 weeks by the Trump administration. And since then, about a month by the Biden administration, and it's still being distributed. Things like rental assistance were to be gotten to the states by January 31st. And so that program money is just now getting to our governors to help landlords and tenants with rental assistance. My whole point is, my first objection is that we have almost $1 trillion that has not been realized in the economy out of something that's already an 18% stimulus in the GDP, much larger than any other country in the world and much larger than the economic gap that we're facing. Second point, Larry Summers, a former Treasury Secretary, advisor to both President Clinton and President Obama, also rejects the $1.9 trillion number proposed by President Biden. He says it's too large, maybe 3 to 4 times too large. His estimate of the output gap in 2021 as we bring vaccines to bear and as the economy reopens. I mean, America's expected to have a positive GDP this year of about 5.5% prior to the Biden proposal of $1.9 trillion in new spending.